Takesha Meshe Kizart, and we're backstage preparing for the new production, the new Gail Edwards production of La Boheme with Opera Australia. Well, it's so wonderful to have something that is completely reworked. And it's not particularly modern. It's not a modern idea. It's not a sort of contemporary idea. It's set in 1920s, 1930s Berlin. And I've been a little consumed with Josephine Baker, of course, you know, because she was in that time as well. So I've been watching documentaries on her. And I'm really excited about the era. There's a certain glamour, I think. I don't know about my character, how much glamour she's going to have. But there is a certain glamour about this production, you know, with the feathers and the glittery lights and all of that. So I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of the repertoire that I do, it's usually me, possibly a tenor with a little duet or two, maybe a baritone, maybe. And it's so nice to do something that has a vibrancy, it has a youthfulness about it. And we're all a part of the ensemble, and that's exciting. That's very exciting to me, because it was almost as if when I first met the other cast members, I almost felt like Mimi. I almost felt like they had become a part, because I arrived a little late because I was performing in Tosca in Frankfurt. So everyone had gotten a chance to know each other and rehearse and things like that. So by the time I actually arrived, they were welcoming me into the family, the La Boheme family, La Bohemia. It was a little less about glamour, especially in Paris. It was so much about glamour and art. In Berlin, it was more about desecration and a sense of disrespect, really, and how you chose to treat people. There was highly successful people with loads of money, and there were people who could barely buy a crust of bread. So I thought it was an interesting choice that she would choose this period in which, if Mimi were to die on the street, it could be a completely acceptable thing. Well, I am playing Mimi, and it's a wonderful character to play, and Gail and I are creating this character together. And I think the focus of this production is truly being able to see the desecration of innocence. And Mimi is the example or the epitome of that. So we see her in the beginning, she's young and fresh and simple and innocent and new. And as we go throughout the story, in Act 3, she's desperate. At this time, her cough has really taken over, her tuberculosis. And she's desperate for love, she's desperate for attention, and the love of her life has completely deserted her. So then we move on to Act 4. In between Act 3 and Act 4, she's been out on the streets, she's been desolate, she's been abused, and finally she says, it's time for me to die, and I want to go back to that place, to that person that I love so dearly. And then the fourth costume is a slip. Yet again, I have to say that almost every production that I've done, like I'm not kidding, I've worn a slip or a negligee or some random form of underwear, and it's very interesting. I think it's a setup. I need to talk to somebody about that, because the next time I want to wear some extra clothes. So I think that there are certain aspects of it that I relate to. There's a simpleness about her. There's an innocence, there's a purity. In this particular production, or in a lot of productions, we see that physically in her. And although sometimes people don't always see that physically in me, that actually is the type of person that I am. I'm very innocent to some of the things in life, like I don't curse and things like that, and people are like, what? They're taken aback. But I think that there's a simple approach, there's a pure approach to living. And I agree, Mimi and I agree when it comes to that. So it's nice to come back to a piece that is just simple and genuine. Unlike many other operatic heroines, what Mimi says is exactly what she means. There is no double entendre, there is no game playing, and it's just a wonderful experience to be able to have.